Okay, first of all, welcome. Good afternoon. I'm very happy to be invited to speak here at the ITB. I'm Torben Greve, manager of MFB MeinFernbus GmbH. The market for long-distance coaches is a very new market here in Germany. Until last year, we had long-distance coaches only in the abroad, for example, National Express in England, in Asia. They're also very popular. Those lines were really niches here in Germany. We had those lines for coaches here from Berlin, as Berlin had been before sort of an island here. So it wasn't easy to get here. Then there were some airports you could go by long-distance coach, but these were really exceptions. A law from 1939 prohibited these lines if they were in competition with the then Reichsbahn and later on the Deutsche Bundesbahn. In 2009, we had elections and a new government, and this government in its coalition agreement said that they want to liberalize the long-distance coach market and have a competitive market here in Germany, and change the law from 1939. This was attacked rather quickly and discussed in private, so to speak. Then we got the impression that there would be no result, no solution, because there was dissension between the opposition and the ruling parties. But then all of a sudden, during the summer of last year, we got information that the German political parties agreed on a solution, and by the 1st of January 2013, we have now a liberalized market. There is no longer a protection of the German railways, and all coaches or buses from the German market can offer long-distance travels. Well, I don't know. You couldn't find my presentation? No? No, so you don't need the device for your presentation. But anyway, it is very exciting. Thank you very much. You're doing a very good job, even without your presentation. And I think 1 out of 2 persons would book a long-distance travel with your company. Well, it's the first time that I do that without presentation. Unfortunately, you do not see our green coaches. This was what I really wanted to show you. Concerning liberalization of the market. Now, by the end of last year, the bill was adopted, and the 1st of January it was then officially adopted. But you still need an authorization, a license for the long-distance travel, but you can no longer be denied such a license because of the protection of the German railway. The only reasons for denying such a license is, for example, distances above 50 kilometers or a travel of less than 1 hour. Then you would not get this concession. And then access to bus stops, to points where you can park or hold your bus. So the new difficulty is no longer the German railways, but, for example, the bus stops. But the market is developing with several companies offering these services, as, for example, MeinFernbus, my company, and other companies who want to be present on that market. In June 2011, a little bit more than 18 months ago, we founded our company. My partner and I, we know each other from during our university studies in England, where we used to use these long-distance coaches, something that did not exist in Germany. And as students, we said, this is something we want to have in Germany. And when we came back from England, we saw that this was not possible from a legal point of view, but we still had this idea in our heads. And when the law changed, we once again thought about the possibilities to create such a system of long-distance coaches. I have been working with the Deutsche Bahn before in the travel sector, so I know rather well the market. We founded our company. Within 4 months, we found 7 investors. It's entrepreneurs from different sectors. But they said we don't get hardly any interest when we put our money in at the bank, and liberalization seems to be a good opportunity, liberalization of a market, to invest money into such a company. So we started to build up a team and asked for authorization for licenses for certain links. If you want to be successful as a small enterprise, you have to be quick and be a little bit quicker than the others. So according to the old law, we already got some authorizations for niche lines. And in April last year, 2012, we started our first line from Freiburg to München in southern Germany. It was a huge success. We had very good coaches, and then have even enlarged our offer during the next months and started a second line. And in November, 6 more lines. So even before the others started, we already had 8 lines and 130 buses, coaches. We want to become the most popular and most known company offering long-distance coaches. We want people to think at once of our buses in green and of our company MeinFernbus. So we always show, for example, a red and white ICE train in Germany and our green buses. We want to be the most popular. That means that we want, of course, have the largest share of the market, the largest number of customers. How can we get to that? By being competitive, by binding our customers, by high quality, high satisfaction of our customers. This is something that starts, of course, with the people working for us, the team, drivers, coach drivers who act in a friendly way, who are very open, approaching people, who are also willing to admit mistake if there have been mistakes, to admit that. We need a swift selling procedure. Within 60 seconds you will get your ticket. There are no charges if you want to change the date of your journey, for example. And many more things we thought about to... Yes? Many more things we thought about? The speaker stops. I believed as the speaker that this was meant to be an information for me. So, what more distinctive characteristics do we have? Our motive is green, not because I'm wearing a green T-shirt and because our coaches are green, but it is also because we want to create a sustainable business. The long-distance coach is anyhow a very environmentally friendly means of transport. The CO2 emissions are clearly lower than if you take the train. And we have on 100 kilometers per capita, it's less than 1 liter diesel fuel. And we can do that also in a CO2 neutral way with our partner My Climate, investing in CO2 reducing projects. We have won here at the ITB the Climate Award for that. And we also try to have a green office, which is eco, electricity, fair trade, coffee, using the right paper, and so on. And as soon as we get our new coaches, we will have CO2 neutral engines in our coaches. We are the first company offering the possibility to take your bicycle on board, so we can combine the most environmentally friendly means of transport, the bicycle, with the second most environmentally friendly. We can also link not only the big metropolises here in Germany, but also smaller cities. Some years ago, the German railway had the system of Interregio for the smaller and medium-sized towns. These do not exist any longer. And the smaller cities, we try now to get them into our network, into our grid, and to concentrate on tourist areas. Many tourist areas are very difficult to reach by the German railway, for example, not far away from the Lake of Constance in southern Germany. This is maybe interesting also for the ITB audience here. 20% of our customers travel for tourist reasons, and 20% say that they would not have traveled at all without our offer. The rest is professional transport, people who before did car sharing, or those who used their own car, and then they said, I do not do that any longer. So people leave their car at home and use our coach, and more than 50% of our customers say, I have chosen this tourist destination because your link interested me, and I would have done that without your offer. Then there's a phenomenon for some cities that we know already from low-cost airlines, where people during a weekend went to Pisa or Barcelona. That's true also for Berlin. The low-cost airlines started a real boom, and we expect that for Germany with the long-distance coaches. I would have liked to show you our network here. We have 13 lines regularly, 48 coaches on Germany's motorways now. That's impressive. 43 destinations, several departures per day. We didn't start with departures every hour, but 4 to 6 times a day, so that you have really the choice. We will even enlarge our network rather quickly, with 130 destinations in Germany and more than 1,500 connections. I'm very sorry, this presentation really arrived at the very last moment of my presentation, but I hope that you got the message.